Hi everyone, thank you so much for deciding to hang out with me for a little bit. I wanted to do a video response to Palm Tree Bewitchery's video where she was talking about witching where you live. She's in Florida, so she was talking about Florida, and I thought that it would be kind of fun to talk about St. John in New Brunswick, where I am. Don't mind all of this. I'm doing a little apparently almond mud mask thing. Kind of bringing out my inner witch a little bit with my green face here. Anyways, totally not related, but I thought I should probably explain this. This isn't a new look I'm trying or anything. So witching where you live. What a cool friggin' question, first of all, because it's not something that I've ever really thought about, was about where different people live, how it affects the pros and cons. And it's just, after you kind of spend some time thinking on that, it's kind of interesting about how where you live, where you are in the world affects your witchcraft. I think that that's like the tip of the iceberg of something that's really, really profound, really cool. In New Brunswick, like in Canada where I am, in I think all of Canada, we get pretty much, we get the 4 seasons, so that's one big pro about where I am. New Brunswick is right on the Bay of Fundy, right on the ocean, and St. John is right on the ocean. So I have the, I'll just show you, actually I have a map here, so just come with me. So let's see, okay, so this is Maine, and this is Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Anna Green Gables. This is New Brunswick right here. And St. John, where I live, is right here. So we're right on this bay right here. This bay has the highest tides in the world and is extremely vicious and violent and wild, and it's awesome, awesome wild energy. So that's where I am. And because of that, there's all kinds of beaches, and it's easy to be kind of like a water witch or a sea witch. There's not like a lot of people here. Population's not very high, which is bad for economy, but awesome for witches, because if you go to a beach here, like a beautiful sandy beach, for example, it would be insanely populated somewhere else. Like, you're more likely to have nobody there than to see people. It's amazing. Like, there's so many hidden little areas here where you can get out in nature and enjoy your witchcraft and do your magic. There's a lot of wilderness and trees. There are, just shores and beaches, like beaches, red, beautiful rocks. There are parks, and it's a very natural place. It's a very wild place still in a lot of spots. That's kind of the pros, is that our surroundings are amazing here. We have amazing surroundings. It's just a lot of untouched wilderness, which is super cool. Obviously with cities and stuff, it's not like we're like hardcore in the forest, but compared to a lot of other places, like there's a lot of forest here. There's a lot of nature here, which is amazing. We get the 4 seasons, which is super cool. And until hearing other people really talk about not having the 4 seasons, and there's pros and cons, it kind of made me stop and appreciate the fact that I do get to celebrate all the 4 seasons and enjoy them. I do find that the Sabbats or Sabbats or Sabbats or however you want to say it, I say Sabbats, I do find that they don't really line up. Like Imbolc here is freezing cold, like we're still in midwinter. It's not the beginning of spring. There's no little flower buds. When I was in Ireland in January, I saw flowers in bloom, and it was amazing. So I understand like how Imbolc fits and makes sense for in a European way, but where I am, it doesn't really make sense. Also, Lunos is another one. By the time April rolls around, or April, oh my God, by the time August rolls around, it's like just getting hot. Like, it's not that first harvest. Like, there are some things that we can harvest, but very few things are being harvested. Our first harvest is really more of a Mabon Samhain kind of thing before we really are ready to haul in plants and the vegetables and gardens. So I do find that you have to have a little flexibility with the wheel of the year here. I think that you probably, yeah, I don't, if you're trying to follow it right on, like I found it never really made sense. So I've definitely tweaked that a little bit and how I view the wheel of the year. People wise, St. John. Oh, St. John. By the way, I'm not farting. If you hear weird farting noises, I'm sitting on a leather chair. just full disclosure. St. John is an interesting city. There are a lot of different witches and pagans, but it's not always easy to get everybody to get together. I think that it's such a small city that if there are quarrels or falling out, people just don't ever get back together. Like they just don't reconcile, it seems. It's getting better. It's getting a lot better. It's been a lot of hard work from some amazing people. It's getting a lot better, and people are starting to get together. And the pagan community that I'm seeing and meeting are people who want to have a sense of community. So with St. John, it's going slow, but it's happening. It's coming together, and it's awesome. It's amazing, and that's nice. But prior to really the work of Lisa and Heather and just other people in the community, they've really helped bring people together. And prior to that, it wasn't really like that. It was a lot of folks just doing their own thing. Like I think there are a lot of witches in St. John, but you wouldn't know it. People are a lot more secretive, maybe more in the broom closet. St. John's a slow, old city. Like oldest in Canada. The first like real incorporated city in Canada. So it's old, the values are old, people are old. Nothing gets old people, but it's slow. Like Moncton is very progressive. Moncton is very like lots of businesses. It's like the local scene's really thriving, and they seem to welcome a lot of new ideas and different groups, like the pagan community in Moncton. There's a pagan shop in Moncton, and it seems like there's a bigger community and a bigger group of folks that come out, and there's even people that travel here to take part in their awesome stuff. So Moncton and St. John is kind of like, St. John's like quiet and everyone's going to do their thing separately, where Moncton there seems to be a bigger community, and what we're working with in St. John is making that community, and it's coming. We've got some awesome people in St. John. It's awesome. Yeah, so that's kind of what it's like witching where I am, with people and nature. It's the type of place where people still kind of talk. I've noticed it even with my job. Like I spend a lot of time in different churches and stuff, and whispers about witches or me being a witch, stuff like that. Even though when I go to these places, like I don't put out there that, oh yeah, by the way, like I'm on YouTube talking about witchcraft and I have a big pentagram or a pentacle on or anything like that. I don't do that. Like I'm there to respect the faith of the people that we're celebrating. So it's not about me, but still word, because it's such a small community, word gets around and it's like, oh, Tasha's a witch, or I heard Tasha's a witch, and blah, blah, blah. So you deal with stuff like that. And even though I don't think that I would have any idea what it's like to be a pagan or a witch in an area where it's like the stereotypical Bible Belt, or even in other parts of Canada, I'm sure that people are more nervous about even being out and about. But here it's still kind of, it's weird. It's weird when you're under the broom closet here, because you still do get people who just won't accept you. And it's like, I do a lot, we as a community do a lot for our community, for each other, and we're good people. There's no reason to treat me differently because you think that I'm a witch. I'm a proud witch, but it's weird. So that's something that St. John it's still a problem here. I love the East Coast though. I love the type of people, East Coasters, Maritimers. We're just nice people. I mean, we have our gossipy and blah blah blah, but we're nice people. We are welcoming people. People are friendly here. People will talk to you. They will just, strangers talk to one another here. It's quiet and there's not a lot of traffic. It's not busy. It's just, it's a good place. It's a good place to be witching. Anyway, that's all for me. I have to eventually get this thing off my face. And I appreciate you just kind of listening to me ramble and go on. And I hope that you have an amazing day. And I will put a link to Palm Tree Bewitchery's video below because that's where I was inspired to do this video from. Bye.